Assalamu alaikum. My dear students of class 9, how are you all? Hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah, I am also fine by the kindness of Allah the Exalted. Welcome to ANI EVS Home School. This is Wahid Noor, Assistant Teacher of Islamic Studies, National Ideal English Version School, Day Shift. Today I am going to take the class of Islamic Studies for class 9. And today our topic is Chapter 1, Lesson 5 and 6, Discussion. Lecture number 4, HW number 3. My dear students, last few classes we discussed about the existence of Almighty Allah, the attributive names of Almighty Allah, and Iman, Islam, etc. Today I will discuss about from lesson 5, that is the identity of Allah the Most High. What is the identity of Almighty Allah? I mean, is there any definition? Is there any documents about the Almighty Allah? Yes. If you see in your book, page number 11, there is the identity of Allah Ta'ala. Allah, this is one word. You are very used to by this word, Allahu. Allahu, this word is totally unique word. This has no singular or plural. This is unique word, and this has no the female or male or female, and no word can be comparable with this word. So this is the first point by the name of Almighty Allah. And there are many of the documents. If we see in the Holy Quran, Almighty Allah, first of all, one surah Almighty Allah declared about himself, that is Surah Ikhlas. So Surah Ikhlas is related to the description of the oneness of Almighty Allah. Almighty Allah said there, Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. So full of the description in Surah Ikhlas about the Almighty Allah. So many of the information are there. Then no thing, no creatures or no living things can be comparable with the Almighty Allah. Almighty Allah was in past, Almighty Allah is now, I mean in present, and He will be in future. After destruction of the whole world, there will be nothing. Nothing means nothing. I mean not a single, not any angels or not human being, not any prophets. Only there will be Almighty Allah. That's why Almighty Allah is saying in the Holy Quran, Huwal awwalu wal akhiru wal zahiru wal batin, and Wahuwa bi kulli shay'in alim. He is the first, I mean He was, and He is the last. He is the first, I mean He was when nothing was created, and at last He will be. He is manifest, He is concealed, and He is well conversant in all matters. And another sentences Almighty Allah said about Himself in its very famous ayat in the Holy Quran, that is Surah Baqarah, ayat number 255, which is called the Ayat al-Kursi. Allah is saying, Allahu la ilaha illahu al-hayyul qayyum, la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la naum. So full of this ayat is related to the description of the Almighty Allah. So if we recite, if we analyze this all of this ayat, then we can be clear, nothing is comparable with the Almighty Allah. Students, Allah never sleep. Allah no need for taking anything. Nothing is needed to the Almighty Allah. Allah can see everything. Allah can hear everything. Allah knows everything, whatever we are saying secretly or openly. So this power is not comparable with any of the persons or any of the living things. So it was the discussion about the Almighty Allah. Now lesson 6, which is very much important in our life, that is kufr. In Arabic it's called kufr. Kufr means disbelief. So what is the meaning of kufr? Kufr is an Arabic word, and kufr means to reject, disbelieve, cover, conceal, to show ungratefulness, to be disobedient, etc., etc. And in Islamic terminology, kufr means resurrection or disbelief any of the fundamental things which are related to the Islamic Sharia, I mean in Iman or in Islam. So kufur is the contrast of iman. Kufur is the contrast of iman. So those have iman, they are Muslim, and those are believe the Almighty Allah, they have the iman, but those are opposite to all of these fundamental things, they are kafir. So according to this definition, we are getting in your book eight things which are related to becoming a kafir. Those are related of these things, they will be kafir. So first one is by disbelieving the existence of Almighty Allah. This is the first things. If anyone disbelieves about the existence of Almighty Allah, they will be kafir. Then second one is by disbelieving the attributing of Almighty Allah. For example, Allah can see everything, Allah can hear everything, Allah knows everything. If anyone disbelieves this, then they will be a kafir. Then C number, by disbelieving in the 7 basic aspects of iman. Students, you know, in Iman Mufassal there are 7 aspects. So any person disbelieve among the 7 aspects of Iman Mufassal, any one, then they will be a kafir. And then D number, by rejecting the basic forms of worshipping, if they disbelieve about the salat, som, zakat, etc. And number E, by rejecting permitted things as forbidden. For example, which is permissible from the Islamic Shariat, but they are not taking that, they are forbidden by themselves. But in Islamic Sharia, they have the permission. For example, they are not taking the beef because Almighty Allah given the permission for the Muslims. They take the beef, but he or she is not taking that. Then number E, then number F, by taking forbidden things as permitted. Same as, for example, drinking wine is not permissible, but he is taking that and he is thinking it's allowed. And number G, by imitating the unbelievers out of own choice. I mean, if any of the persons by himself, they are following the unbelievers' activities always, and they are hanging any symbol in their shoulder or in any of the body of the part or their movement activities which is related to the unbelievers, then they will be a kafir. And H number, by mocking at Islamic issues such as taking ill of the Holy Prophet or including Al-Quran. I mean, they are mocking, they are joking by any of the part which are related to the Islamic Sharia or in Quran and Hadith. So students, this is the part of becoming a kafir. So what is the consequence of demerits of kufur? What will be? So there are a lot of description. Just I am telling you the main point. First one is disobedience and ingratitude. If any of the person become a kafir, they will be day by day disbeliever. They will be disobedient. They will be ingratitude to the Almighty Allah because they don't believe the existence of the Almighty Allah. Then B number, rise of sinfulness in the society. If the disbelievers counting is day by day increase, then in the society there will be increasing the sinful activities because they will not believe, they are not believing about the Almighty Allah. They think there is no creator. That's why they will do any of the sinful acts. Now C number, formation of despair. They will be frustrated in any situation. They will be impatient, restless, and they will be frustrated because when the Muslims will be frustrated, disappear, then they will go to the mosque, will perform the 2 rakat prayer, they will raise the hands and seek the Almighty Allah's forgiveness, the help, but they are not doing this. Number D, spread of immorality. Everywhere there will be immorality. In un-Islamic activities. And then page number 15, number E, displeasure of Allah the most high. I mean, they will not believe about Allah or Rasul or angels. That's why the Almighty Allah will be the displeased, unhappy, and they will not follow the rules and regulation of the Islamic Sharia. And last number, which is very much important, eternal punishment. At last, they will go to the Jannat, and they will live there forever. In Jahannam. In Jahannam they will live forever, eternal. And that's why Almighty Allah is saying, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَكَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَكَذَّبُوا, those are disbelievers, I mean kafir, they will go to the Jahannam, and whom fiha khalidun, they will live there forever in Jahannam. So that's all for today, my dear students. So you have to read it again and again, then you will be understand better. And if there is any question, you can ask me in my live class. Now keep concentration to the HW number 3 topic, any 5 reasons for becoming a kafir. Any 5 reasons. In students, there are 8 reasons in your book. You will write any 5 reasons for becoming a kafir from lesson 6. Okay, that's all for today, my dear students. Keep practicing at home to abide by your parents. See you next class, inshallah. Till then, assalamu alaikum.